There's a lot of empty calories today for Nebraska football. We are here in a quiet Ryan Field, about as quiet as it was for most of the day because there weren't many fans in the stands. Hello, everybody. I'm Sam McKewon with the Omaha World-Herald, Big Red Today, and Omaha.com. Nebraska falls to 0-2 after a 21-13 loss in Northwestern here on Saturday afternoon. And man, Husker football, they can't get out of their own way, can they? A lot of yards, a lot of mistakes, 2 costly interceptions. And what do we got going forward? Well, maybe a quarterback controversy, and maybe, just maybe, what Nebraska needs. And if that seems counterintuitive at this moment with Nebraska 0-2, I'm not trying to give you an easy silver lining here, but at the end of the game, Martinez was removed. Luke McCaffrey was put into the game, and I think we have to be honest that the offense looked a lot better with McCaffrey in there. He seemed faster, he seemed healthier, and the offense moved at a much better pace. And I'm not sure if there's a health issue or an injury issue with Martinez, or if he just doesn't have the confidence that he once had in 2018. But the guy's not moving the way he used to move, and he's not throwing the way he used to throw, and he's running pretty well, but it's still not quite the same player with the same burst. The Huskers had a 13-7 halftime lead, mostly based on the defense. They got 2 interceptions, one of which set up a 3-yard touchdown run by Dedrick Mills. Nebraska took that into the break, and you didn't feel great about it because this is Nebraska, and they stink in the third quarters, and they stunk again in the third quarter today. They gave up a touchdown right away to Northwestern. Boom, 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 and it was 14-13, and then they didn't play well the rest of the third quarter either. They had one decent drive that was blown up by Martinez's decision to really heave the ball into that end zone. Just heave it. Kind of up for grabs, and it was intercepted by Northwestern. Luke McCaffrey then had the last 3 drives of the game. The first one was bad because of a blown-up flea flicker, but the other 2 were pretty darn good. Did they score any points? Well, of course not. They lost the game, but they did get both times inside the Northwestern 20, and McCaffrey had to do a lot of things late, and I think Northwestern was a little taken off guard by his speed and his burst, but he threw the ball around pretty well, and he really looked a little bit more on point than Martinez. For people who know Adrian Martinez and have covered him for a long time, he's a great kid, and we all like him and root for him and all those things, but he does not seem to be the same player he was in 2018. And for whatever reason that is, whether it's confidence, whether it's the offense, it's hard to say, but just not seeing quite the same player, not quite the same burst, not quite the same dynamism. Nebraska struggles to throw the ball downfield. I don't know if that's because of the receivers or because they're just not able to throw it down there. They struggle to put plays back to back to back in this offense, and that's what you got to do. That's what Scott Frost built his reputation, his offense, and his career on. And the things that he built his career on are not really panning out so far here at Nebraska. The offense is not designed to score 13 points. They're not designed to win a game 16-14. It's not the way that they put the program together. Nebraska's defense gave up 21 points today, and I'll tell you what, for the program that Scott Frost envisions, that's a good day for the defense. That's a really good day. That's a day when you win 47-21. That's what Nebraska wants to be. They want to be a super explosive offense that's hard to stop and that forces other offenses like Northwestern's to score all the time. And the reality is Nebraska just isn't that team. And they haven't been that offense. And they really haven't been that offense really since 2018. They just have not been that team. And when it looks right, I think we'll know. And at times it seems to look right with Luke McCaffrey. But it often looks rough, whether it's McCaffrey or Martinez. It's hard to say exactly what the plan was today with McCaffrey. He didn't play until really the fourth quarter after playing a whole bunch against Ohio State. And there was a free, loose sense to the game plan, and they were open and doing some cool stuff. And they didn't do any of that cool stuff today. It was interesting. But then McCaffrey came in late, and all of a sudden it felt right again. I think they're going to have a quarterback competition this week, but I'd be hard-pressed to see Luke McCaffrey not playing a whole lot against Penn State, which, as I say this, is getting its butt beat by Maryland 35-7. So I don't know if Penn State's going to win the game, but I'd be surprised if they do because they're in the third quarter, which means that an 0-3 Penn State's going to play 0-2 Nebraska. I don't know what to say about that. Wouldn't have been the case 20 years ago, but it is now, or it could be now. Nebraska has 6 games left, maybe 7 if you count a bowl. Things are not necessarily out of hand or out of question. They've been lost to the best team in the league in week 1. I think they lost to one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the league in week 3. So they've probably played the 2 best teams on their schedule, and they sure as heck have played 2 teams better than Penn State next week. So Nebraska's season's not over, and they'll have to try to salvage it. But to do that, They have to figure out their quarterback situation. They got to figure it out pronto, because what's been happening in the first 2 games with the passing game, that is not going to win too many contests this year. All right, that's Sam McKewon. Well, I'm Sam McKewon for the Omaha World-Herald, Big Red Today, and Omaha.com. Thanks for watching and listening and reading from Evanston.